3 rules to quickly improve your life. Number 1. Stop caring about what other people think about you. When I first started this YouTube channel, the very first thing that I was scared of was basically what would other people think about me starting a YouTube channel. By the way, this video is a collaboration video with a good friend of mine, Dimitri. His channel is linked down below, but more on that later. And I was especially scared of my classmates' opinions on why I was starting that channel. What would this guy essentially doing? And when I started my school club at school, that was still same thing in my life. I was still afraid of what other people might thought about me. And when I am giving big speeches like to 300-400 people, that is the same thing that came to my mind for a long time. What would other people think about me and would they judge me? But what I learned is, if you care about what other people will think about you or what other people might say about you, you will never be happy in your life. And that hits home hard for me because that was how I was living for a long time. I was just thinking about what other people might think about me and I was trying to fit into a circle, for example, friend group, because I wanted to feel accepted in that group. And here there's something that we have to understand, which is called the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is basically we people, humans, live as in a way where we think there's a spotlight on us and projecting to us, and how we live is basically we feel like we are the only character, the main character in everyone's life. That is just not the reality. If you make a mistake right now, or if you do something stupid, people will probably laugh at you, but people will probably not remember that in a few weeks. The moment I stopped comparing my life to others and the moment I stopped caring about what they might say, that was the moment where I was truly able to be happy. So stop caring about what others might think about you and then start just doing, because that is the way. 2. Without a goal, you can't score. And there is a Harvard study that was done in the early 80s where researchers were asking students, if they were Harvard students by the way, if they were essentially setting themselves daily, weekly or monthly goals. Basically, if they were setting themselves goals in a consistent basis. And in that research, 97% of the students said essentially, no, I'm not setting myself consistently goals. And 3% of those students said, yes, I'm currently consistently setting myself, let's say, weekly goals. And bear in mind, these are Harvard students who we already call like successful people. And there was a follow-up study done after 10 years basically later, and they found out that those 3% of the students who were consistently setting themselves goals are now 10 times more successful than the other 97% of the students who were not setting themselves goals are essentially combined. And that is just really mind-blowing to me. And that already shows us that setting ourselves clear goals with clear reasons, clear whys, and clear deadlines is just the key to success. Sometimes it feels like you are spinning the wheels in your life. You are not going anywhere in the direction that you want to go. Sometimes you are improving a little bit and then you are falling back to where you were. And the way for you to get out of that, which is we call like a rut, and how you can get out of that rut is basically by setting yourself goals. And as you can easily understand from the study, you will be much further in your life if you are setting yourself those consistent goals than if you are not just doing them. This is a big mistake. And that's why the rule number 2 is going to be set yourself consistently weekly goals, because without a goal, you cannot score. As I mentioned earlier, this video is a collaboration video with a good friend of mine, Dimitri. His channel is linked in the description down below. The link is going to be the first thing in the description and also probably in the comment section as well. The collaboration video was supposed to be essentially about the habit tracker Done, which I personally used and I personally like, but this video is not sponsored by Done in any means. This is not sponsored by Dan, but Dimitri is gonna be making a review video about the app Done on his channel, so I would strongly suggest you to check his channel out. And if you subscribe to his channel, that will essentially mean the world to me, because he's a very good friend of mine and he makes videos about productivity apps or general productivity, just like the ones that I also do. So if you are interested in that, definitely click the link in the description, the first link, and check his channel out. So shout out to you, Dimitri, and let's get back to the video. Rule number 3. Follow the path of most resistance. To be honest, 2 years ago, I was not thinking like this at all. I was spending my time playing video games, binge watching Netflix series, and scrolling through Instagram and judging my life and comparing my life essentially with others, and I was not happy at all. Even though I was doing all those instant gratification activities, I was not doing any delayed gratification activities like reading, meditating, exercising, studying, making YouTube videos, or building a business, or any of that good things that I should be normally doing. Because it was hard. That was the path of most resistance, and I was just taking the path of least resistance, because I don't want to say because, it's just what everybody else is doing right now. That is the reality of the world at this point. I was just wasting my time and wasting my life with it. And that made me realize that I had to make a change. I had to make a very, very big change in my life. That's when I made that switch, and I switched my whole life around. I stopped wasting time on Netflix. I deleted my Netflix. I stopped wasting time on Instagram, scrolling through Instagram. I stopped playing video games at all. And from that point, I probably played like 2 hours of video games in the last 3 years. And that is my reality right now. I started doing things. I started doing valuable things. I started taking the path of most resistance, which is improving my life, and which is, even though it feels like hard, it looks like it's harder than normally doing instant gratification activities, you just feel much happier and much purposeful in your life. And that switch just completely changed my life. It made me the person who I am today and who I'm going to be in the next 10 years, where I will keep improving myself. So rule number 3. Stop buying into those instant gratification activities and start doing actually important things in your life. Make that switch. Follow the path of most resistance. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.